Welcome back, guys. Hope you've been doing well. So, I think today is going to be the final day that I'm going to make a video on the Camaro, just because it's, winter time and it's minus 6 degrees Celsius outside right now. It's actually one of the warmer days, but I won't be taking the car out for any rides anytime soon because the roads are riddled with salt, and I don't want that issue on my poor old car that's already full of holes. So I guess this will be the last episode I'll make with the Camaro for a little bit anyways. I'd like to think I got it all wrapped up, so I guess this will just be a little recap of what's going on and everything that's happened since the last video. So as you can see, she's all together, stuffed in there. I got the hood back on, and yeah, so it's fantastic. 416 cubic inches, aluminum block, LT heads. It's completely done. The Brian Tooley cam, head swap cam in there, which is technically a stage 4. I had a lot of trouble realigning my belts again because, as you know, this is a custom belt setup and there's no real guide for it anywhere on how to make a custom belt setup. When I took off my last configuration on the 403, I was really good, and I taped everything together, all the shims, all the washers, all the spacers. I taped everything together so I knew exactly where everything went, and I put it back together. I don't know if there's something different with the aluminum blocks or between aluminum and cast, if there's some kind of different measurement, but my God, I spent a whole day reconfiguring the belts and getting them to line up, and I couldn't figure out because I took everything apart the way it went together, and it was just really confusing. Luckily, I have a bunch of belts here from over the years when I've been, just trying to find the right belt size and the right configuration, and I ended up blowing through 3 belts. They just ate themselves to death. But finally, I got it all figured out. After that, what else happened to this thing? So a big thing that kind of spooked me a little bit, but in the end is not a big deal. When this thing is cold, and I'm wearing a t-shirt in here just because I just strolled in here and I wanted to make this video real quick, but it's not particularly warm in here. I'd have to say it's maybe 10 degrees Celsius. So this engine, when it is cold, and I mean cold, it does a little bit of piston slap, which I spoke to Manly about because I do remember these pistons having a really short skirt. And they said, yeah, if it's a stroker, and depending on your clearances, it might have a little bit of piston slap. I was worried in the beginning, and after doing some research on it, I seem to be less worried. I'm running a thicker oil as of right now. I did a compression test on every single cylinder, and every cylinder is the same, just 1 or 2 numbers off. And after this thing runs for 40 seconds, that noise is completely gone. You can rev it to 7,000 RPM. There is no sound at all. So I'm very confident it is just a little bit of piston slap when it warms up just because it's cold. And that's the only thing. I have read on the internet that aluminum blocks are notorious for that because of the way they distort with heat and all this and all that. Can't say for sure. I'm not an expert on aluminum blocks. I have been running cast blocks for 7 years now. So this is my first aluminum block. That's one thing that was worrisome, but it's not so worrisome anymore to me. Like I said, I fired it up and warmed it up. It ran great. I took it for a little putt-putt around the yard here, and there is not a single noise that comes out of this engine that sounds terrible. Moving along. Let's see. I got everything else in the car wrapped up. So aside from actually just giving it a good cleaning, everything's just about done in here. I got my transmission all rebuilt back in. I got my display in. I got my little rocker switch panel under there. You can't really see, but that just runs everything. I'm really happy about that. Makes me very happy. I guess the last thing would be that I actually blabbed about in my last couple videos on how, sometimes eBay and Amazon parts are better than brand name. So I had to bite the bullet and buy actually good spark plug wires because I had a set of Old Faithful GM wires, and I did not want to have to bash on my headers anymore to make them fit. For some reason, these 1 7/8 headers were they're bigger than my 1 5/8. So I had to do some bashing to get spark plugs in certain holes, and all the spark plug wires were rubbing and melting. So I thought in my head, I have an idea. I'll go on Amazon and spend $100 some on these lovely ceramic boot wires. Now I got these and I put them on expecting them to be pretty decent, and they look like decent quality, and for some reason they are just pure garbage. And I put them all on. I made sure they're on really good, and I don't know, the car would just randomly misfire, and I had brand new spark plugs in this thing. And after like 15 minutes of running it, I pulled the spark plugs, and there was some spark plugs that looked brand new. There was just random misfires. One whole bank stopped firing at one point. And I was like, oh my God, what is wrong? Like, is there something wrong with my engine? Did I blow it up? I put all the old spark plug wires on, no issues. So these were absolute garbage. I tried and tried and tried to make these work just because I wanted them for the heat and the rubbing on the headers, but in the end, they're garbage. Funny story, I bought these. I said they were junk, and I didn't know what to do with them. I think I'm going to give them to somebody else. And I logged into my Amazon account for something else, I don't know what, and it says, return accepted, refund issued. And I was like, wait, what? I still have these, and I didn't even try to refund them. I just put them on the shelf, and I'm like, oh, whatever, I'll use them for something else. So I guess Amazon knew that they were just that shitty that I ordered them, and then they decided to give me my money back for no reason. It was really strange. Anyways, I splurged in the end. I have hummed and hawed about buying these spark plug wires for about 6 years now, because I'm like, they're just spark plug wires. I don't want to spend a pile of money on spark plug wires when GM ones are perfectly fine. But I splurged and I bought the MSD ones, and in Canada, like I said, the conversion rate sucks. So these plug wires ended up costing me like almost $300. But anyways, they're the MSD ones that are bendable, and I put them in there and bent them to every angle I need, so nothing is touching. So if you have clearance issues with your headers, I would suggest just putting out the extra money and buying them, because as far as I know, they're the only ones that are bendable, and they just really did the job here. I'm very impressed about, like, I put these on and tried to start the car, and 2 seconds later, it was just like instant start. They're good plug wires. So I guess that wraps it up for the car for now. Definitely going to post some videos ripping around as soon as spring comes around. So we've got a couple months waiting for that. Also, this little guy is going out the door. I didn't do any videos on it really. It was just this is an aluminum 6-liter that I built for a friend, and it's got a stage 3 Summit camshaft in it, and he's putting a new intake on because he doesn't like that one, but it's going in his Chevy 2. He's doing a complete LS swap. So I pulled this thing. It was out of a hybrid something or other, and I put LS3 heads on it that I had kicking around. So that'll be a nice little motor. I'm figuring it's going to probably make like 525 or so, and he'll be happy. So I honestly don't know where I found time to do all these projects now that everything's all wrapped up. But anyways, the weather's going to be slightly warmer for the next couple days, and my good cousin is bringing his C10. I'm putting the car in storage over on that yonder side of the garage where all the other cars are. So the C10's coming in here, and I'm going to start making some videos on that. That will be head swap, which is currently it has 317s on it. It will be getting 799s. It will be getting a new valley cover. It will be getting multi-port fuel injection, because right now it has a dual plane with throttle body injection. It doesn't work good. It's not very good. It's kind of garbagey. And it is getting the Truck Norris NSR cam and maybe new spark plug wires. So that's that. Keep your eyes peeled for that one. That'll be coming up in a few days, maybe a week. Maybe I'll give myself a little break. But yeah, so far, I'm going to call it good enough. But before I go, I'll start the thing for you. Why not? It's a little chilly in here, but those tailpipes I put on, I am absolutely in love with. It gives the car a nice little rumble. Before, I had just these pipes that would go over the differential. They went over the differential like this, and then they just dumped on the ground. Had a decent rumble with these pipes on it, but I don't know, you could really smell it in the cab if you were sitting. So now they come out and dump right there. And I don't know, personally, I find it took all the drone out of the car, and it sounds smoother, it sounds snappier, and I just like it. So, fire this thing up. It runs kind of rough when it's cold, but I mean, like I said, it isn't warm in here. So it's gonna cook for a little bit, but fuel pump. And there it is. Runs like a top. Just does this for a little bit until it warms up, and then it's happy. Good oil pressure, good vitals. I'm happy with it. Sounds good, runs good. So, I'm gonna call it quits for now, put it in storage, and that's the end of that. So, thanks for tuning in, guys. Hope you enjoyed watching me build this thing. I can't wait to get it out and do some testing with it. Hopefully I don't kill it, but I do have a spare engine, and then we'll make some videos on putting that back in. So, like I said, watch for that C10 video that should be coming up in the next couple days. And take care out there, stay warm, and see you later. Cheers.